Coming up on Q6 News next, from record lows to continuing highs, and we're not talking weather. The price at the pump is skyrocketing, and a safety feature for your car that could save 600 people a year. That and meet one woman hungry for millions more dollars. Q6 News starts now.
You're watching KHQ Channel 6, local news.
From your Northwest News Channel, this is Q6 News.
The price of filling up your tank continues to soar higher and higher, and overnight, it's only going to get worse. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Julie Humphreys. Randy Shaw has the night off. A consumer alert. You might want to think about topping off your car's gas tank tonight. A number of the stations we called in Spokane plan to raise gas prices anywhere from 3 to 7 cents after midnight tonight. Some stations had already raised the price of a gallon of gas by 3 cents. The price hike is being blamed on 2 refinery fires and a drop in production among oil-producing nations. This couple, moving from Virginia, were surprised at the prices they were paying at the pump.
Where I came from, I think it was about 79 cents, 89 cents, somewhere around then. They might be going up now, but they were pretty cheap. And I've noticed the further west we're going, the more they're going up.
Taking a look now at some of the gas prices we found earlier today. The downtown Texaco at 1527 West 3rd is at $1.23 a gallon for regular unleaded. Now we're told they plan to raise their gas price by 7 cents, putting it at $1.30 a gallon. The tobacco station at 1831 East Mission is selling unleaded gas at $1.18. That's the least expensive gas that we found today. And in downtown Coeur d'Alene, the Boulevard Chevron is selling gas at $1.29 a gallon. Be sure to watch Q6 News every day. We're kind of keeping a check for you on those prices at the pump. Local airmen from Fairchild Air Force Base again left in support of the airstrikes against Kosovo. The 60 men and women headed to Europe aboard a C-5 cargo plane. They will join other crews from Fairchild that have left over the past few weeks. The crews headed out today will be in Europe to maintain and fix planes being used in Operation Allied Forces. In all, there are now 300 people from Fairchild who are supporting NATO's mission in Yugoslavia. The U.S. and NATO tonight crank up the bombing runs against Yugoslavia, even though the Serbs have declared a ceasefire in Kosovo. Yugoslav President Milosevic says that his forces will stop attacking Kosovo through Sunday's Orthodox Easter holiday. But U.S. officials rejected the offer, saying a truce will only be possible after Serb troops pull out of Kosovo and the refugees' safe return is assured. This boy says he survived a mass execution only by hiding beneath the bodies.
They begin to kill everything they see. Women, old people, young people. They burnt everything.
Refugees continue to pour across Kosovo's border. It is now estimated that 1.1 of the 1.8 ethnic Albanians who lived in Kosovo have been displaced. Preparations are underway tonight at the Guantanamo military base in Cuba. That is where the U.S. will house 20,000 refugees from Kosovo. The first refugees will begin arriving at the base in 3 to 4 days. It is estimated that it'll take about 45 days to get all 20,000 refugees to that base. Around the Northwest, a group of doctors and nurses left Portland today, headed to help those in need in Albania. The disaster response team is a group of medical volunteers who hope to provide emergency medical care to refugees from war-stricken Kosovo.
The situation there is becoming more chaotic all the time. And we're going to get there and we're going to be treating hundreds of people. And I'm sure there's going to be many that we're going to save from dying. They're on the brink of dying.
Over the past 15 months, the Northwest Medical's teams have been working with Albanian community leaders to train them in disaster preparedness and refugee response. In other news, teachers across Washington state now have an important backer. Today, Governor Gary Locke endorsed the House Democrats' plan for a pay increase for teachers. He said he supports what they're trying to accomplish and that they got their message across to lawmakers before the protests even started.
Democrats and Republicans in the legislature, House and Senate, I think we're starting to give more attention to the salary issues of teachers even before the first walkout or first strike.
House Democrats want to offer new teachers a raise of more than 12% over 2 years. Other teachers would get 8 to 10%. The teachers union wants a 15% pay boost. An anti-prostitution bill passed unanimously in the Washington State Senate. The bill would allow police to impound vehicles of people caught soliciting a prostitute for the second time. It has already passed through the House, so now it will go on to Governor Gary Locke for his signature. Senator Larry Sheehan of Spokane introduced that bill. Around the rest of the country, another airbag option has just tested very well in crash tests. It's a side impact airbag that provides head protection, and it's becoming available on more cars. A new study noted the side airbags on some 1999 Fords greatly decreased the likelihood of serious head injuries. Transportation officials say about 600 deaths could be prevented every year if all cars came equipped with side air. A new study shows smoking in the teenage years increases the risk of lung cancer, even if the smoker quits. Now, the amazing discovery was that for former smokers, the important factor determining DNA damage was when they started smoking, not how much or how long. The studies can be found in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute. For those who believe our young people perpetuate an atmosphere of moral decline and no values, take heart in this. A new survey finds college freshmen today are much more conservative than their parents or even college students from just a decade ago. The annual survey shows attitudes toward casual sex, abortion, and even life goals have shifted. And more college freshmen want to be financially well off rather than to develop a meaningful philosophy of life. Around the world tonight, a man armed with a rifle opened fire inside a Ottawa bus depot, killing 4 people and then taking his own life. Transit workers identified the man as a former employee who had a history of mental illness. The man had been on sick leave and was apparently upset when he returned to work unexpectedly. The two other people were also hospitalized in that shooting. In local news from the Dayside, a 3rd judge will now hear the murder trial of Robert Wood. Wood is accused of strangling his 11-year-old son, Christopher, and then setting the family's Newman Lake home on fire. The first 2 judges left the case because of a possible conflict of interest or objections from lawyers. Judge Terry Eitzen is now scheduled to preside over the trial, which is set to begin in November, but could be delayed. Well, someone sprayed gunfire at a house in downtown Spokane. A man inside called police, and when they arrived, they found 26-year-old Larry Thomas staring into the sky. He said he was looking at a star. Police say he appeared to be on drugs. Inside the home, authorities found 2 loaded handguns, a sawed-off shotgun, and a lot of ammunition. Thomas was arrested for illegally possessing those firearms. Police say he does have prior felony convictions in California. Well, if you were watching cable TV earlier this afternoon, you might have been a little bit surprised. Nearly all channels had this, a warning from the emergency broadcast system. It told you to stand by for an announcement. But it was actually just a computer glitch that hit all their channels. The people at TCI had to manually correct it on every channel, and that took about a half an hour and lots of phone calls. A semi-truck accident in North Spokane brought down a power line. The truck was turning onto North Foothills Drive when the crane on the truck caught the power line and knocked over a pole. Now, the pole fell onto the back part of the truck, and a man inside had to wait for crews to turn off the electricity in the line before he could get out. Several homes were without power for a short time. Luckily, nobody was hurt. Well, it took less than 2 days to find new homes for all 16 horses from the Indian Canyon riding stable. Mitch Mitchell decided that he's closing the stable because of rising costs. That meant he had to sell his 20 trained horses. Since we first told you about this story, Mitch has been flooded with calls. He found homes for all those horses, saying he wasn't looking to make money, just a good match for his prized possessions that he had spent years caring for. He provided a lot of fun and a lot of good rides for a lot of people around here. Now let's take a quick look at our Fast Alert forecast with Mark Peterson. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Julie. Well, I tell you what, we're going to see a cool down tonight. Temperatures down to around freezing, maybe a little cooler. And then we're going to see a little bit of sun tomorrow morning. Take a look at the Fast Alert forecast. Lunchtime, increasing clouds through the day. 48 at lunch, dinner time 50. The high tomorrow should be about 52. Increasing chance of showers late tomorrow night. We'll have more on the forecast coming up. Right now, First Sports and Greg Heister.
And the Mariners are in trouble. They played great in spring training, but this team is already struggling. Mariners starters have now given up 5 home runs in their first 2 games against the Chicago White Sox. Darren Jackson has 2 of them. Jamie Moyer looked terrible tonight. He gave up 8 runs in 6+ innings of work. Russ Davis had a home run, but the Mariners are now 0-2, and they've scored just 5 runs, and they've given up 19. The Sonics battled hard tonight, but the Sacramento Kings are not the team that we're used to this year. Thanks to their rookie phenom, Jason Williams. He scored 21 points. The Sonics are down 10 with 4.5 minutes to play, and they did force overtime, but the Kings won it in OT, 112-106, the final. That's First Sports. Here's Julie.
All right, thanks, Greg. Well, classic sounds filled the Met tonight. Under the direction of Fabio Macchetti, the Spokane Symphony wrapped up its 1998-99 season. Tonight is one of the final concerts as they get ready to launch next year's concert series. Their season finale is scheduled for May 7th. That would be in the Spokane Opera House. Mark Peterson was there. I have a feeling we'll be hearing more about that. That is 11 at 11. All your news, weather, and sports in the first 11 minutes as promised, but there's much more ahead, so don't go anywhere. Bring some warm clothes. We're headed to Riverside State Park for a little springtime camping. That's coming up on Q6 Local News Extra at 11:18. And then at 11:29, Consumer Reports tracks down and dispels 3 myths about herbal remedies. And before we call it a night, how about 23 million? Well, it's just not cutting it for one lottery winner. Speaking of the lottery, take a look at tonight's winning lottery numbers. We're back in a moment.
Coming up on Q6 Local News.
Close.
And now, Q6 Fast Alert Weather with Mark Peterson.
All right, good evening. Q6 Fast Alert forecast. Overnight down to 30 into Coeur d'Alene. And boy, I tell you what, Wednesday, middle of the week, 52 degrees, almost near normal, but that's going to be the last push of warm air through here, 53 into Coeur d'Alene outside. Fast Alert Sky Cam. We have practically a clear sky out there. It's absolutely beautiful. Downtown Spokane. Things look pretty good. And there, of course, Riverfront Park. Make sure to get your summer season passes, right? Is that the season? Whew. Can't keep up with it. 40 degrees. It is a very mild, warm evening out there. 59 the humidity. Winds remain calm. They are gusting in excess of 8. And barometric pressure holding steady. We have a little high pressure ridge sort of holding everything at bay. It's nice. Let's take a look. Now we do have some moisture that's starting to come down. That's going to cross over us. And that's where the increased clouds on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. That's where we're focusing on the forecast to see some moisture come out of that system. This low down into California is nothing but pesky, bringing in rain showers and gusty winds, pushing across into the Rockies, and of course higher elevations there throughout the day. They had a little bit of snow. Now, as we take a look at what we have currently with a satellite picture, fairly clear skies. Nice. Just a few high thin clouds into the northeastern section, North Idaho, and then over into the southwest. 39 into Portland, 30 into Spokane. Libby's going to be 25 degrees. Here's a look at the highs for Wednesday. 53 into Portland with light rain showers. 50 into Seattle, light rain showers. Some snow into the higher elevations, a possibility. If you're going to be traveling over in the afternoon, you could see a little bit of snow over Snoqualmie Pass. 51 into Libby, and Calgary 57. Get this, Mount Spokane, 4 inches of new snow. They open tomorrow. Could be an interesting couple of days, but the weekend looks to be beautiful. And of course, well, there's some ski areas open up till the 11th. 44 Thursday, and then Friday, it's going to be 45. So it's going to be on the cool side with showers. Could be snow in the higher elevation. Should be anyway. Saturday and Sunday, temperatures in the low to mid 50s. So things look pretty good.
Well, because it's spring break and a lot of kids are still out there skiing.
Out and about. But that's going to wrap it up on the 11th for the ski
Yeah, I
areas.
think mentally we'll be ready to wrap it up by then.
I think mentally I was ready in January.
Yeah, but you never started this year.
I know.
Never mind. Okay. Up next, speaking of
this
cold weather, it has scared people away from not only skiing but camping. But it hasn't stopped one hardy group. We'll have that story next in tonight's Q6 Local News Extra.
Here's the Q6 Local News Rundown.
Usually packed this time of year, the campgrounds at Riverside State Park are peacefully empty. But one group of high school students is braving the cold as they have a little fun. And Q6 reporter Laura Papetti has more in tonight's Q6 Local News Extra.
At Riverside State Park, you can catch that sweet sound we don't often hear. That's the sound of silence. An almost deserted campground, you can find an empty space, like campsite number 4. There's nobody. In fact, number 1 through 19, clear, quiet. Only the sounds from Space 20 echo through the woods.
You have to be a diehard to camp out in this cold.
It's a good thing Alicia Anders has her laughter to keep her warm and a fire to keep her busy.
Today, I'm just the fire queen.
Anders tends the embers while she and a few friends spend their spring break in the woods, one of the few not afraid of the recent cold temperatures.
People are wimps.
Riverside Park attracts locals like Alicia because it's close and because it's peaceful.
It's perfect in the morning when the sun just comes up.
It's absolutely gorgeous out here with the water and all the fresh air. It's absolutely perfect scenery. But despite all this, a park ranger we talked to today said camping is down 20 to 30%. He relates that to the recent cold weather and to rising gas prices. And despite some of the laughter you'll hear out here, we're really not joking.
Yeah, we got a little wimpy last night, but we stayed. We toughed it out.
Spring break usually brings its share of campers. It's better than the alternatives, according to Alicia.
Yeah, watching reruns of MTV.
And if you can brave the cold,
You gotta keep the fire going. We gotta stay warm.
afford the gas, and laugh at the wind. Riverside State Park may be the best kept secret in town this spring break.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore.
That was Laura Papetti reporting. I don't need the cold to keep me away from camping. I just not my bag. I know you get out a lot, Neil.
Oh, yeah, no, I like it to be cold. It makes you feel alive.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Speaking of not being alive, the Mariners.
Oh, no.
Hey, those Sonics. We got the highlights. Come on back.
Well, that ball, way back to right field, goodbye baseball. Hopper taking right, Junior's 30.
Last fall, there was the Idaho Lottery. They're easy to play and fun to win. Scratch it.
And now, Q6 Sports with Greg Heister.
Well, all right, Jeff Facero gave up 6 runs in 6 innings yesterday to the White Sox. Jamie Moyer struggled tonight. The White Sox have been pounding Mariner pitching. They have hit 5 home runs in 2 games, and in both games, Darren Jackson hit a 2-run shot. There's one tonight. Moyer gave up 8 runs on 11 hits and 2 walks in 6+ innings. Frank Thomas was 3 for 4 and drove in 2 runs. Russ Davis did hit a home run for the M's today, but there was little to feel good about again tonight. The Mariners team is looking a lot like the team that finished 9 games under 500 last year. They're still looking for their first one of the season after an 11-3 beating tonight. They've been outscored 19-5 in their first 2 games of this season. Not looking good. The Mariners have stepped up to the plate, though. They've offered Griffey Jr. several alternatives on a new contract that would make him the highest paid player in the game and better than $105 million in that package. Now, Griffey is not as excited as you might think. He's told the Mariners that he's not impressed, and it's not about the money. He wants them to prove to him that they're willing to build a winner. He's not interested in playing in Seattle for any amount of money. And you take the 2 games this season for an example, and things aren't looking good for Griffey staying in Seattle. He has 2 years remaining on his current contract. All right, the Sonics got off to a horrible start tonight against the Sacramento Kings, full of all kinds of good news. The Kings scored the first 8 points of the game. It appeared the Sonics forgot to come out of their locker room, but nobody put a body on Chris Webber there, and he hammered it home. The Sonics did get their act together in that first half. Gary Payton was left wide open. He hits 3 of his 21 points, and then when Olden Polynice hit this little turnaround, the Soups had their first lead of the game at 35-34. But the Kings led by 5 at the half, sparked by their sensational rookie, Jason Williams, the great oop to Chris Webber, and the hammer. Webber, an explosive forward on that break. This game went to the wire. Down 2, Gary Payton takes it coast to coast, And this little bucket tied the game at 98, and it sent it to overtime. But Jason Williams finished with 21 points tonight, and his Kings win it in overtime. 112-106 the final. The Kings have now won 2 of 3 from Seattle this season. They also won in overtime against the Soups on February 17th. The Sonics are now 16-17 on this season. I said for Inglewood, now the Lakers and the Jazz hooking up, and Dennis Rodman was up to his antics. He and Karl Malone don't like each other. But Karl had a huge game tonight. He took 12 shots from the floor, and he hit them all. They finished with 30 points. John Stockton added 17. The Lakers may have a better team on paper, but the Utah Jazz are still the best team in the West, except for maybe Portland. We'll know. They win at 106-93, the final. All right, we're just 2 days away now from the start of the greatest golf tournament in the world, the Masters in Augusta, Georgia. The course is ready, and so are the players. David Duval is the early favorite. He's already won $2.6 million this year, winning 4 of the 8 events on tour. Mark O'Meara is the defending champ.
Let's face it, I mean, David is very composed on the golf course. You know, he hits the ball fairly long way off the tee. You know, he's number 1 in greens and regulation. He's number 1 in putting. He's number 1 in overall driving, and he's, you know, made $2.6 million. So a lot of that has to do with his all-around game, and confidence is very high. And
I'm not a big fan of watching golf on television, but I do love the Masters. You know, yesterday after that loss to Chicago, Lou Piniella was sort of making some jokes about it. I don't think he's laughing tonight.
No.
11-3.
Oh, boy. What do I way to make a living, though? Golfing.
Yeah.
You know, come on.
Yeah.
2.6
million in,
yeah.
you know, 8 weeks.
Walking around in the sunshine. I know, it's a little more than that, a little more involved, but anyhow. Let's move ahead. Many people assume if it's herbal, it's safe. But that's not always the case. We're going to take a look at some herbal myths next in Consumer Report.
Sink costs less than expected. Tiles lower than budgeted. Everything with a 10% low price guarantee. Also, I could create a place where money doesn't matter. Eagle Hardware and Garden. More of everything.
Plum Shop makes plumbing projects easy with more of everything you need for repair and installation at guaranteed low prices. Plum Shop at Eagle.
Eileen, your idea to buy supplies at Staples saved us a lot of money. Here's a token of my appreciation.
Thanks. Hey, I think Arlene just got a bonus for her Staples idea.
I hear they're throwing a lot of money at Arlene.
Word is, someone has offered Arlene a lot of money.
Arlene, I don't want to lose you. What do you say to a big fat raise and an extra week's vacation?
I'm not leaving.
Terrific.
Ooh, good.
Get 15-pack pens, 74 cents. Want guaranteed low prices? Staples. Yeah, we've got that.
Martin's new gal stays the night.
I know that Dad's wanted to have you for a long time.
And Fraser's proud of his old man.
You're back on the beat.
In fact, he's telling everyone.
I had never thought of my father as a man with normal sexual urges.
Find out why the whole town's talking about Martin's love life.
Sex is something between you and the person you're doing it to.
On the next Frasier.
Tomorrow at 6:30 on Q6.
Firefighters take turns living at the fire station. They have to be ready to go to a fire day or night.
When you open up a book with a child, you open up a world of possibilities.
Suddenly, the alarm rings and all the firefighters rush to their trucks.
What children read today can become dreams for tomorrow. Read together today and watch the future take shape through your child's imagination.
Welcome back. Many of us have taken an herbal supplement at one time or another, but just how safe are they, and do they really work? Consumer Reports puts them to the test. When you see herbal remedies on store shelves, one word stands out: natural, as in the powerful natural herbal energizer, or natural sleep cycle, or unique natural drug-free formula. But Consumer Reports says one myth about herbal products is if something is natural, it must be safe.
View the word natural with a lot of skepticism. One of the most popular herbals is saw palmetto, and that can cause headaches and upset stomach. Another very popular herbal is St. John's wort, and that can cause a lot of dizziness.
Myth number 2, if the label makes a claim, the supplement must live up to it. Consumer Reports says don't count on it. While the company is supposed to have some substantiation on hand, they are almost never asked for it. And myth number 3, All products that say they contain a particular herb are the same. Not so, says Consumer Reports. Consumer Reports just analyzed 12 brands of echinacea, which is used to fend off cold symptoms. Testers found that the concentration of phenolic compounds, which indicates the presence of echinacea, have not been standardized among brands.
The amount of echinacea and the percentage of phenolic compounds varies widely, so you really don't know what you're getting.
If you are determined to try an herbal remedy, Consumer Reports has this advice. Be alert for side effects, don't expect miracles, and proceed with caution. So there you have it. Consumer Reports has a book to recommend if you want more information about herbal remedies. The Honest Herbal by Vero Tyler. It's available at most bookstores. And we're about to call it a night, but before we do, a look at how one woman just can't get by on her $23 million lottery winnings. We'll tell you about that in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Jenny, your server, and I believe this is yours.
Oh, no, I ordered the omelet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just...
No, wait. That looks really good.
It's a focaccia sandwich. We have a chicken cacciatore, Italian roast beef, an Italian burger, a chicken BLT club, and they all come with garlic or regular fries. But I'd better go get your omelet.
Oh, no, that's okay.
I move more focaccias that way.
I bet you do.
Like I say, there's always something new cooking at Perkins.
Finally tonight, so just how much money do you need? Well, apparently $23 million isn't cutting it for one woman. Edith Shrivani is lined up for a lottery ticket. It is the second largest lottery of all time, $200 million. The thing is, Shrivani just won the lottery last year at $23 million. So what is she thinking?
You don't think you get 23 in it. You don't even get half. All taxes, plus they take back. I bought land. I'm developing land. I tried to help everyone I came in contact, but I needed help. I did that. Paid off all my bills, which I needed. And other than that, I've taken little short trips, but nothing big.
I guess she didn't have enough money for those big trips. Anyway, Shrivani and thousands of other hopefuls are back east. Tickets could be purchased at a lot of places, Massachusetts, Virginia, all over the place. Does greedy come to mind?
Yeah. 23 million, that's a ton of grand.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.
Thank you for making Q6 your choice for news. When you see news happen, call the Q6 newsroom at pound 600 for a free call on your AT&T wireless services phone. AT&T. When breaking news happens, remember to watch your local news station. KHQ Channel 6.
ABC, America's late night leader.